What are you doing? Yo, you're sleeping and the mix is about to start. Come on, bruh. See, I'm leaving, man. I can't even get in the mix over here, man. Oh, man.
Man, if you're not getting in the mix with Kid 6, what is you really doing, baby? Tune in right now.
Get in the mix with Kid 6, Jared.
What's good, everybody? You are locked into Radio on Fire. You are in the mix. It's your big dog, Kid 6. Shot-Town's finest, Carlton, your dig, and your girl, Leah.
Carlton is vibing over there right now.
Yeah, because we got that Lil Wayne beat going on right now, man.
Vibing like, all right.
Yeah.
That Wheezy, man. It just took me back to like 04 to 06.
Right.
Uh-huh. That good old Wheezy dedication too, baby. What's going on, Mixxers? Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
Appreciate everybody getting in the mix with us today. It's a lovely Tuesday. As you can see, we have some new items on the table here. And of course, you know, man, anytime we have something special going on, Chi-Town's finest always holding us down, man.
Oh, yeah, man. So, look, we got a couple beverages up here. I Drink. If y'all don't know about I Drink, y'all need to get in tune with I Drink. You can follow them on Instagram at I Drink Beverages. That's I Drink Beverages. Y'all can see the I Drink right here, though. Mm-hmm. But anywho, you know, this is a great product brought to me by the great folks at Rich King Brand. Shout out to Rich King Brand, one of our sponsors also. But their beverages, though, they have nano-sized plant-based vitamins in their drinks. You know, that's alkaline, 9.0 on the pH scale. So it's optimal hydration for the people out there that want to take a drink. They also have these here little wellness recovery shots for people that have those long nights. If you know what I'm saying. You know, if you need to recover or cleanse your system out for whatever
I know
reasons.
a couple people that may.
I think I might know a couple people too. Y'all get in tune because you know
on the show.
You know they got
might need one of these
on the show.
Yeah.
Do he got one?
Oh yeah, he got one.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
I don't need it.
Yeah, you do. We talking about you.
No, I don't drink as much anymore.
They got minerals, electrolytes, essential nutrients. You know what I'm saying? It's great for cellular hydration and sustained energy. So get in tune, man. You know. That's I Drink Beverages on Instagram. Just, you know, I'm going to take a couple sips of this at some point during this show, and I'm going to let y'all know how I feel. I'm pretty sure I'm going to feel hydrated. But, you know, that's
I'm definitely looking forward to trying this out myself.
Absolutely. I feel like I actually do drink alkaline. I drink the Essentia.
Yeah.
Like I always drink those. So, I mean.
You know what's great? Now you can drink I Drink. Hold it down.
There you have it. So after every meal,
get
you some I Drink.
Okay.
Right.
There you have it, folks. As he mentioned earlier, one of our sponsors, shout out to Rich King Brand.
Always in effect.
Shout out to Capture the World.
Capture the World. I ain't even peeped the shirt.
Yeah.
Now we out the
loop this week.
Yeah, got out of the loop. Damn, you're messing up, man. We gotta get on point, yo. We gotta get in sync, y'all.
It's cool.
And of course, shout out to Sour Life, man. I felt like the odd one out last week, and y'all had some Sour Life going on.
Too.
Yeah.
She got the Sour Life.
Yeah,
she does.
She tried to rep to this week, so I guess she thought y'all was going to come back with Sour Life, and I was.
Nah, I couldn't do it back to back.
Why not?
I got.
I just had to switch it up.
Why you couldn't be on your Drizzy back to back?
Nah, I ain't on that. I gotta switch it up.
That's crazy.
Yep.
It's all good. We're going to jump right into what you're mixing up. And, of course, you know, week 1 of the NFL did kick off over the weekend.
Hell of a week.
Just going to highlight a couple of games. Unfortunately, Carlton and myself, both of our teams took an L this week. Carlton's wasn't as bad. Theirs was more of a defensive battle, but offensively they just couldn't produce.
10-3.
Yeah, 10-3.
What kind of that's almost like the Super Bowl. That was what 13-3?
Yeah.
Come on, man. We could have scored a touchdown.
Yeah, something.
A touchdown.
Something, man. Damn. A couple of games that I wanted to point out. The Chiefs, they demolished the Jaguars. Well, actually, they didn't demolish them. It was only by 14, but it was still, you know, the Jags defense, as we all know, is Saxonville, but Chiefs put up 40 points. They just couldn't stop the receivers either.
My homeboy. I know a couple fantasy players that was like, you know, real happy about that game.
Yeah, definitely. But the Titans, they really surprised a lot of people. I'm just going to say that they definitely demolished the Browns 43-13.
Yeah,
I really wasn't expecting that. Not even going to lie to you.
They had the new Browns looking like the old Browns.
Yeah, definitely.
I was going to say, like, did I miss something?
Exactly.
Okay.
We thought we missed something, too.
Okay.
They had Baker out there looking bad. Odell was just like, you know, we got to iron out the kinks a little bit, but they was just like, y'all looking like the old Browns from before all of these great players got there. So
I guess they say everything. Everything can always look good on paper, but
they better do it on that
That
field
is
as
a
well.
whole
when it's time to put it up to show,
That's the whole
they ain't come ready.
They better get it together.
Yeah, so they looking like the old Browns right now. And they have so much talent on paper, and it's just like, damn, could they really possibly beat this ass with that much talent?
Hey, they got 15 more games, so we gonna see what they gonna do.
Yeah, we want to see how they turn around.
They in y'all division, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah. So I know you was happy at the least.
Yeah, I was. Ravens though, they made it look easy against the Dolphins, 59-10.
Shout out to Lamar.
Lamar was definitely
Jackson.
balling. He definitely balled out, and their rookie wide receiver.
He had a perfect.
Nah, keep that same energy because you was saying, "Oh, Miami, they
No, can you let me finish?
Oh, okay, go ahead. I was about to go in.
Never interrupt. Stay in your lane. Anyway, as I was saying,
Keep it going.
shout out to Lamar. He balled out. But again,
Perfect QB rating.
definitely. But again, it was against the Dolphins, who is also a team that could possibly be trying to tank purposely so they can get a number one quarterback with the number one overall pick in the 2020 draft. So therefore, it really wasn't much effort put into the Dolphins really trying to do what they can against the Ravens. And then the Ravens, they also played the Cardinals this week, so that could possibly be another victory for them.
Another 2-0.
So we'll have to wait and see what Lamar can really do against a competitive team.
She don't look like she trying to hit none of that.
She don't even know
And
who
I'm
Lamar
not-
Jackson is.
I know he the quarterback for the Ravens. That's what I do
When-
know.
when-
Why you gotta hate though? Even because your team lost and they only got 3 points.
I'm gonna get to that.
Go
I'm gonna
ahead and get to that.
So the Cowboys, they crushed the Giants 35-17. So
Oh, man.
we all know that Ezekiel Elliott got his money.
He got his bread.
So Jerry Jones, it's time for them to run Dak his money.
it just might be. We gonna see, man.
But should we wait? Because
I
it is the Giants. It's the Giants,
It is the Giants, but
and they're not too good either.
you know how I feel. I want them to get their dough, but realistically, get them a couple more weeks.
Okay.
Because we got to see how Zeke playing too, because he got his bag, so he got a different pep in his step out there. At least
Right.
he better. And Dak trying to get his bag, so yeah.
Agreed. Moving on. As my annoying co-host mentioned, the Patriots showed no mercy against the Steelers, 33-3. And they really made it look so easy against us, y'all. And y'all know me. If you know me, I'm a diehard Steelers fan, no matter what. And I'm always going to point out our flaws, no matter what. And we sucked overall offensively and defensively. Regardless if we would have had Antonio Brown or Le'Veon Bell in the game, we could not produce. And last year, we didn't have Le'Veon at all. So Le'Veon is out of the mix with that one. Here's my thing. I think at this point, our star receiver, Juju Smith, needs to understand that he is now the number one receiver. He needs to put more effort into being the number one receiver and not trying to be the number one dancer in the world, okay? I see him put more effort into dancing than he was trying to get open and catch some passes for us over the weekend, all right? Defensively, we looked horrible. You can tell that the Steelers only got certain players to match up with the Patriots. And here we are. Tom Brady is now 6-0 against the Steelers in Foxborough.
Yeah, I'm about to say he
Like, he owns the Steelers.
How old is Tom Brady? 42? 1?
Like 41, 42.
Yeah, I think he is 42.
That's his grandpa age.
They talking about he might play till he like 45. He looking
And he
as good.
can.
Listen,
As good as he
I
is,
mean,
you guys just
the
trash.
Patriots, honestly, they looked good. I'm not even going to lie to
Don't
you.
they always?
They looked good, like damn good. Josh Gordon, he's going to be a problem for cornerbacks. I just want y'all to understand that. He's going to be a nightmare to watch this season.
Oh yeah.
Then of course, with more breaking news over the weekend. So of course, the diva himself, Antonio Brown, got his wish.
He got what he wanted.
Got released by the Oakland Raiders.
Is he really a diva?
Walked
or is he like a mastermind?
walked away from guaranteed money of $30 million. Signs a 1-year deal with the New England Patriots. Some are trying to say This was his plan all along. He wanted to play for the Patriots. Here's my thing. Here's my take on it. We understand that the Steelers weren't going to trade him to New England. That was a given. But you were in Oakland. Oakland was really trying to work with you. You found any little reason. You tried to do any and everything possible to try to ruin that relationship there so they can get rid of you.
Complaining about the helmet. He cussed out the GM.
Right.
He was missing mandatory things.
If his plan is to leave,
But here's the thing. Here's the thing,
right?
Here's the thing.
Succeeded.
I mean, he succeeded with being able to leave. But here's the thing. All those antics that you pulled with those organizations, you're not going to be able to do that in New England.
I don't think that he's planning to. I think he got with the team he wanted to initially get with.
Nah.
You seen his buddy picture with Tom Brady?
Yeah, like he looked
So
really happy.
But
and then they asked Ben Roethlisberger about him, and he was like, "Whatever." Like he sounded like mad, like he didn't even want to talk about it.
I mean, because at this point, I mean, they've been talking
real
about
salty.
Antonio Brown for the last since they traded him. That's been all they've been hearing the entire offseason. Antonio
You've
Brown,
been doing talk
Antonio
about him
Brown,
all season.
because he been doing so much all off season. Shit, but
Y'all salty?
salty. No, I think more so. Why do you need to go to an organization in order for you to act like a mature adult? Because you don't think that you're going to go in the locker room and cuss out Tom Brady because you only got 3 catches.
To do that though, that's the
I think
thing.
he gonna do it either.
Yes, I think he was doing it for a reason. Y'all think that he was being a diva just to be a diva. I think he was like, look, by any means necessary, and he succeeded.
No, okay, but look at it like this. DeMarcus Cousins tried to take the easy route by signing with the Golden State Warriors because he thought that was going to be an easy championship for him. And here we are. He still has no ring and got injured.
It would have, but you have to take into consideration they had a lot of injuries too. Had they not had as many injuries, they probably would have won, and he would have got his ring.
But he didn't.
He didn't think that though. The point is,
His mindset was that this is going to be a piece of cake. And for Antonio Brown, he has the same mindset. This is going to be a piece of cake.
Well, the way they
Meanwhile,
were looking,
he's
trash your
going to have
Steelers,
to-
they have a great chance, as they do every year.
But he's going to have to understand that he's not going to be that 100 receptions a season type of receiver that he was in Pittsburgh.
Maybe not, but the point is he still
Think
has
so?
a chance to.
I don't think so. I don't think he's going to do what Randy Moss did.
I don't think so either. You know, I feel Randy Moss is my favorite football player all the time. I think he's the greatest wide receiver ever. So I don't think he's going to do what Moss did.
Hell no.
I think he's going to get his targets and stuff, but I will say this. This might be me being a little bit selfish, but if the Patriots get a Super Bowl with Antonio Brown and he couldn't get a damn Super Bowl with my man's Randy Moss, I'm going to be tight. I'm for real. They was undefeated with Moss.
I don't think he's going to get it.
But he has a great chance too.
Because
he didn't have one with the Raiders, and we know that.
We're gonna put that out. But the Raiders actually won yesterday.
But let's be realistic, though.
That was a good W.
They
But
won.
let's be realistic. In comparison to the team, the Patriots, he has a much better chance of winning with them.
Yeah, he
than
does.
the
They are
Raiders.
defending champions.
They are.
They are defending
They're
Super Bowl
always in the
champions.
playoffs every
They
single
got the GOAT
year.
Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
You right.
So
What their wins versus losses usually like 12-4 or something like that.
Yeah.
Always.
14-2, 12-4.
Come on. So I think while he went about it the
16-0.
diva way,
He
he
got what he
succeeded. Hey,
You know, it's $15 million, $10 million guaranteed.
do what you got to do.
Yeah.
$20 million player option.
We'll see.
It clearly wasn't about the money.
I mean, to be honest with you,
wasn't.
I'll definitely see if he really lasts an entire season with the Patriots. I'm gonna see.
Sprinkle that salt on you.
But I'm really not salty.
You sure? Okay.
Like y'all really have to understand. It's not as if he helped us get to a Super Bowl. We had 0 Super Bowl appearances when we had him. 0.
Well, we're gonna have to keep watching what he gonna do. With
So
the
I
Patriots.
just need people to understand that it wasn't as if he helped Pittsburgh get a Super Bowl ring. No, he didn't
Use some
Right.
water.
at all.
Right.
So I'm not
You
even
gonna
gonna
take a
trip.
sip? Come on, take a sip,
Take
bro.
a sip of this
She
eye
told
drink.
Cause y'all done lost terribly. So go ahead and sip on
Yeah,
that
we
water.
did. We did.
Y'all
I'm not even
did.
gonna lie. I was highly embarrassed.
Y'all should be. All right.
She,
I was
she
highly
low-key-
embarrassed.
She low-key
But I-
told you to take a sip of that water.
But I
because
will
it was
say
salty.
this.
She thought she was slick.
I will say this. I think
tell
it's
what
about
side you
I think
on.
it's about time we get rid of Mike Tomlin.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think he was
I'm
saying that
always
for a
root
little
the
while
black
now.
man.
Yeah, I know. You know,
That's
and
my
I
man.
root for everybody black, but you know
He
what?
the swaggiest coach all the time.
Tomlin, he doesn't have control. He never really had control of the team. Once AB really started wilding, doing
Le'Veon.
whatever, and Le'Veon, he really had no control. If Bill Cowher was still our coach, none of those antics would have went down. None of it. So yeah.
I will say this though, Mike Tomlin is definitely the swaggiest coach of all time.
Oh yeah, yes.
Hands down.
Hands down. Crispy hairline, all that.
Hey,
all that.
Tomlin, man, if you need that lineup, if y'all ever play the Ravens, y'all play the Ravens, man. They gonna play the Ravens. Pull up on me, man. I got you.
Definitely, man. We're gonna have to get that. Moving on. Enough with the sport. Actually, you know what? One more headline too. So in order to make room for Antonio to get on the roster, the Patriots traded away wide receiver Demaryius Thomas to the New York Jets.
Just happened.
Right. Just happened, like earlier today. So it is official. Antonio Brown is a New England Patriot.
He is.
So this will be an interesting NFL season,
Man.
so to say.
Oh man.
Moving on, local news yesterday here in the city of Baltimore.
Charm City.
Right.
Shout it out.
Police investigated a suspicious vehicle in a parking garage in downtown Baltimore. The vehicle contained, about 2 containers of diesel fuel.
Okay.
Car pulled up at about 4:30 a.m. Monday morning. It was just parked there. Of course, you know, security there, they smelled gasoline.
Mad gas.
Yeah. So, of course, they notified the fire department as well as the police. Did their search and whatnot. Now, they say it wasn't a sign of a bomb threat. I'm not trying to hear that.
Didn't they say they found another one though, like in White Marsh too?
I'm not sure. They did?
All right, yeah. I'm
they
about to
found
say
it-
I heard about 2. Cause at first I'm thinking, yeah,
Oh,
I was
wow.
just thinking like, oh, somebody out here trying to steal gas and sell it or something like that. I
Right.
don't know. And then when they said it was the second one, I'm like, all right, now it's starting to look a little fishy.
Yeah.
Funny money. Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
That is right.
That is
That's some
correct.
conspiracy stuff right there. I don't know what just happened, but I
Damn.
just got scared a little bit.
No, but that's correct.
And
That is
that's kind of how they did it. Well, not the first 9/11. The first time they bombed the joints, they put the bomb under the World Trade Center, blew it up, but it didn't drop the towers.
So I feel like they and jobs and stuff, they tell you about like bomb threats and everything. Y'all
Yeah.
really know how to evacuate in the case of a bomb threat?
If I
What,
was
like
in-
the exits itself?
I mean,
like
yeah,
where
like
they tell
I
you to
feel
go?
like they say what to do, but I feel like when you're
People be
panicking, you're
panicking.
right. You panic, you
Yeah,
really
see,
don't
that's
know
why
what
you
to
gotta
do in
stay
those type
calm.
of situations.
you panic, you trip, you fall. Now you got blown up. Smoked yourself.
Yeah.
Stay calm.
Yes,
and evacuate.
it's tough in that situation.
I always think about that, like when I'm watching movies and things like that. Like, if I really was in this situation, would I survive?
I'm gonna
Yeah.
survive. I'm gonna let you know right now. I know how to get out that jam. That's just what I know how to do.
Yeah.
I'm
Fight
Mr.
or
Jam
flight.
Getter Outer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you just got to really know how to act accordingly and really be on the move, you know, and just
I'm out.
not try to worry too much. But it's really difficult to try to tell people not to worry in a
those
sense because
situations, yeah.
I mean, you have people who suffer from anxiety issues. So
People do
That-
suffer
that's
from
hard.
anxiety.
that's
Yeah.
hard. That's really
For
hard.
those people, you can't tell them not to calm down.
So yeah, man. So just definitely stay safe out there, man, and just be alert at all times, especially
Yeah.
tomorrow. I really forgot that tomorrow was 9/11. That is crazy.
Speaking of 9/11, do y'all remember where y'all were when 9/11 happened?
I was at school.
I was at school. I was at lunch.
Just at lunch.
When we happened, and they let us go home early.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was at
So
school.
y'all, I forgot y'all was on East Coast time. I was in Chicago.
Yeah,
It was still super early.
I was at school,
Yeah.
and like literally one by one, everybody was just getting called to the office,
Leave.
early dismissals, and all of that. I'm like, yo, what's
Oh
going on?
yeah, one of them planes did crash in Pennsylvania somewhere, right?
I'm trying.
What was it?
Yeah,
United
yeah.
Flight 93. I don't know how close it was to where you might have been, but
Nah,
yeah.
it wasn't that close to us, but yeah. And the next thing I know, my name got called. So I'm like, yo, what's going on? Me and my mom, we just walking and talking. She told me about it and go and watch the news and everything. And I'm like, oh, right.
It's crazy.
Man,
I was in the 6th grade.
I was in the 6th grade. It was September 11,
How are you in
2001.
the 6th grade? You were not in the 6th grade. I was in high school.
I was in the 6th grade.
Not that much older than you.
I was for sure in the 6th grade.
You were not in the 6th grade. I was in 10th grade when this 2001 when this happened. Think back.
You might have been in the 7th grade.
Might have been.
Because I was in the 6th
You were in
grade.
8th grade. Do your math. How were you in 2001?
Take it back.
I was 11.
It was like 11, 12. So it might have been 7th grade. It might have.
It might.
I don't know.
Like,
I know I was 11. I just know I was in class, and it was like 8:30 or something like that in Chicago.
Or maybe you were in 7th. I think I was in 9th. Okay,
We in class. The principal walked in, whispered something to the teacher. The teacher was just like, "Yo, it's these planes. They crashed into the buildings in New York." And I'm like, "Is it an accident? Like, did the plane like fall out the sky? That's kind of crazy." Then they took everybody out the classrooms. They put us in the lunchroom. They had it playing on the TV, and I'm looking like, "Yo, is this a movie or something? Like, what's going on?"
Yeah.
And then they was just like, yo, it was a terrorist attack. And I'm listening to what they said on the news. And then I got shook because I'm like, yo, I felt like they was just crashing planes into tall buildings. And there's a lot of tall buildings in Chicago. And my mother works downtown in one of these buildings. I was like, nah, I need to go home.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody started, like you said, everybody started leaving and stuff. That was insane, though, man.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was really crazy. Moving on to some entertainment.
You know what they say, though, with that?
What?
It was the government's fault. Like, they did it.
Oh, we already know that.
I know.
Yeah,
That could
everybody-
go into all of that. But
Everybody said the government does everything. They even said the government killed Left Eye.
I don't know about all that. But
Yeah, that.
Rest in peace, Left Eye, man.
But but it's also the social media crime scene investigators.
Oh, yeah, CSI.
Yeah.
you know the most memorable moment of 9/11, believe it or not, when they apparently informed Bush when he was in the class.
He's reading a book, one of the book upside down or something like that. Goofy.
He just looks so goofy and dumb.
Yo,
He really did.
He gotta do better, man.
Yeah, okay.
Seriously. Moving on to some entertainment here. Black Girls Rock has been receiving some backlash for the lack of trans representation. Angelica Ross took to Twitter noting that BET didn't highlight the number of trans women killed, which she highlighted was 18, and let alone even get an invite to the BET Black Girls Rock.
What you got to say over there, Ken? Because you laughing. Well, we about to get on you in a second.
He definitely called you Ken.
You will
We gonna get to
forever
that
be
in a
Ken.
minute. We gonna
That
get
is
to
your
that in a
name
second.
on here forever and ever and ever. You said a lot on the mic before. Nah, that's a matter of opinion. Go ahead.
They wasn't invited because they're not girls.
You shouldn't say that on the mic.
I didn't. It's not.
Goodness.
Black Girls Rock.
You have to understand, we talked about this last week.
If that's the case, then the Rachel Dozier, who felt like she was black but she was white, she should be invited to black events too. Then, if you can just feel like something.
I mean, and with that logic, yes, you're
You're
right.
not a woman. You can say you're a woman, but you're not.
I mean, okay,
You feel like
we
you should've
know
been
biologically they're not female. I think they're aware of that too. But again, it's go against
That's
with
why-
gender versus sex. In gender, you can identify with anything.
You can identify.
Sure,
You
but
can
that
empathize. You can sympathize.
But you can't be.
Not embody.
so that is a real debate because they're not biologically
Is that why?
I mean, but
female or male. Should they not be invited to events that are,
But I'm trying to
sex specific?
I'm trying to figure out how that would. I'm trying to figure out how that will actually work. I mean, do they invite those who actually had, the full procedure and everything, like even down there?
Doesn't matter.
But the only reason why.
To your logic,
No, the
because
only
it
reason
doesn't-
why I'm asking because here's what it
No, I
is.
wasn't getting smart. I'm just saying, like,
No,
does it-
like because you have some people they pick and choose where it's okay for everyone to want them to be accepted with something. So it's just like when it came to them noting that trans women can go into the bathrooms and everything, when they brought up that, and that was an uproar itself because it's just like what my child is in there, and if they don't have everything down there, like that's still a man. So it's just like, all right, well, if he still has that down there, can you still invite can you still invite her down? So I'm trying to figure out how that would work.
If they're talking about just identification, if you identify as a female, it doesn't matter if you had all the whole full procedure done or half of the procedure done. This is how you identify yourself.
No matter what your license say. That's what matters.
So
if
you
gotta stand up to pee. I don't care what she identifies.
So even if she had all of the full procedure, then
if
what?
She got a procedure, then we can talk.
So then, it makes her more woman because she doesn't have any of the reproductive system.
Yeah. God, I need to like that.
All right, Kendall, come on.
But has any ever been invited to the BET Black Girl Rock?
No.
That's what I'm like.
No, they never been invited. No, they had no representation there.
I have a question.
They might have been in the
I don't
audience.
understand. You're saying if they don't have the full procedure, they're still a man, but they chop off the penis, and all of a sudden now you're a woman?
No, but
Okay.
you have more of an argument if you have female body parts. If you have if you have male body parts, right? You got a padded bra and some tracks in your head. That makes you should come to the woman stuff. Like what? For real? Like for real? That's what you saying?
So you have a reconstructed vagina and like a boob job that makes you a woman.
I mean,
too?
but my thing is that the
By your logic
disqualifying
now.
factors exist. The girl I'm talking about that said that she identified as black, but she was a white
That's what I'm
woman,
saying.
right?
So yeah.
Does she get all of the privileges of a black person because she identifies as black?
If by your logic,
No, of course not.
If you go, but we talk about
don't try to
not by
argue
your
it, 'cause
logic,
you know,
but
no, I'm saying it's the same thing. She identifies. She said that's my struggle. That's all I know. You know, she got her hair braided and all that. So she identifies as a black woman. Won't right? Now, what you saying? Y'all don't co-sign that. But for this transgender conversation, for some reason, you on board. I'm confused.
if not, no, because I'm saying if we're going to use your logic with the whole transracial,
Does a white person who identifies as black, that cool white person, right? He gets all of the, or she gets all of the benefits of a black person.
Who was the guy on the video
So you're not
that
gonna answer the question.
he pledged Kappa? He was like this white guy. Was it Kappa or something? The point is we don't know.
No, I'm saying answer the question though.
Okay. What's your
Does
question?
he get those points? The cool white person that identifies as black. All his friends black. Got a black baby mother. Got his pants
He
sagged,
grew
his
up
jacket-
with
Yeah,
like
that-
Still
you
in
know
the
what I'm
black,
talking about.
like the neighborhood.
We all know that kind
Still
of guy.
not black.
Oh, girl.
I mean, we all know he's not
Does
black.
he say he black? He identifies as black. Does
Still
he
not
get
black.
the black privileges?
Still not black.
Oh, I know.
Not at all.
No, but the question is, we all know that he's not black.
So you really
But
won't
does he
answer
get
the question because you know it's
the
gonna
black
box you in.
privilege?
That's why you're not gonna answer the question.
No,
I
I'm
felt like
saying
that was
he
a
doesn't, but
rhetorical
I'm saying, huh?
I said I felt like that was a rhetorical question. That's
saying
why I
no
said
because
still
he's not black, he can't get what a
No,
black
I'm saying
privilege is
because
anyway.
I'm saying he identifies as black. I don't know much white people like that. Just everything.
But what are black privileges?
What I mean is that he cannot. We can't give him the pass. The identity pass. Could he come to the Black History celebrations and he'd be like, "Well, I'm not included. I identify as black."
Well, no,
The
because I'm
equivalent
saying
for Black
maybe
Girls
even
Rock.
His family or from generations
No,
on
the
down.
answer is
No, I'm saying
So then,
no.
why is it good for the equivalent with the gender for them to get the passes because they just say the words "I identify as"?
But like I'm saying, by your logic, you can say that they get the full procedure, then they have something.
But I'm saying what you saying. Not forget what I'm saying.
I'm just saying, in our society today, this is what it is. If these folks identify as such, then that's what their gender is.
What if people change their mind? So what if they change their mind next time? So what if 5 years they change their mind? LeBron James has a sex change, or LeBron says I identify as a woman. He's supposed to be in WNBA.
It's a Chappelle joke.
That was a Chappelle joke, but it was a great joke. But it was serious.
I feel like it's a little bit different because they goes like the wrestling and
Why
stuff
is
like
it
that
different?
because men still have different physical attributes that
now
women
it's
don't.
different. Oh, now we different. I thought y'all could do the same thing we can do. Why is it different? You even is
Because we're
hey,
talking about attending a social event versus participating in the sports.
No, but we go. It's much deeper than that.
It's
It's
so
bathrooms,
different.
It's everything.
You guys have more physical ability, just different physical abilities, just by body build. So we can't really compare attending a social event like Black Girls Rock versus wrestling. So I'm wrestling a whole man, regardless of the full procedure, half a procedure. I'm still wrestling a whole man. So it's like that's not even equal.
I think the point still goes back to the not just the identify, but the actual being part. Like how you said, like, yeah, if you if you a man and you was in the NBA, you change it to a woman. Do you go to the WNBA? Probably not. But in this case, they like, as far as the invitation goes, they might have been like, we not going to invite y'all because of that. Like for the same.
No, I see the reason why they didn't, but knowing where we live, we're in 2019 now. There's a whole community of transgender.
It's still the same thing,
people, and they feel like excluded because if I identify as a woman now or a man, and they have this event, and I don't get an invite, of course we know the uproar is going to happen. Yeah. I understand the logic. I'm just saying, in the society we live in, it's like
have they like made a statement or something like that about that? Because does anybody know?
What? No,
have they made like a statement or anything about why they didn't give them an invite?
I really don't know why they. I mean, I don't think they've ever had an invite before. Not that they're. I just don't know. I don't.
Now the argument you can say is because if I don't believe in something doesn't mean you have to shove it down my throat. Fact. I mean that's a whole nother argument.
Because I mean
it could be. I don't want to say that's what it is, but it could be.
But I mean because now here's what we could say. It would be kind of fake. Because if they end up getting an invite next year for the Black Girls Rock,
right,
then it's just like, okay, you're just doing this to shut them up, so you don't get in an uproar.
No, because we're gonna use y'all.
No, because logic. You said no.
Like
because
the NFL people can make changes, right? Like y'all said. So now,
but no,
it's not genuine.
but BET's more so wouldn't be genuine.
We don't.
It would just be to shut them up.
So what makes the NFL any different?
Because if that's the case, they would have been had the invite.
So when I said the bin changes, y'all was like, "Oh no, they're making changes now."
Nah, you was just on the Jay-Z.
You're saying you're saying the same thing I'm saying. You're gonna say that so the Black Girls Rock can try to make changes. But it's just the same thing.
NFL is definitely trying to make changes.
I don't feel like they're genuine. Just like Kid Six over here saying next year they get the invite, it's not going to seem genuine.
Hypothetically, but I'm saying
okay, I'm not saying I don't know this for
fact. Is specifically trying to make changes right now, and you won't accept those changes.
I still don't think that they are, but that's another argument.
But either way it go, man.
But what I think they could, because they're hearing the concerns, it could be that they, trust me, you don't with the LGBTQ plus. I'll go forget the plus community. Plus. They had a plus to it now.
Yeah, it's a whole bunch of other
LGBTQ
what's the plus for?
I don't know, but it's a plus.
It's a whole bunch of
it's like Netflix, such a wide, broad community.
Just continue.
Yeah. So I'm saying to upset that community is like,
okay.
You don't want to.
Yeah. I'm not. At this point, not to be on no funny, but I feel like any little thing can tick them off. I mean, you just got to really look at when Drake did his video, nice In My Feelings video.
In My Feelings.
And he didn't have
you talking about the Nice for What video?
Yeah, the Nice for What video. Yeah. And he didn't have the girl who does the you the only one I love.
Yeah.
I forget her name, but he didn't have, and she's a part of the LGBTQ plus community. But they got upset about that.
But can you say that this
that wasn't
Frida?
That wasn't
Big Frida.
Big Frida.
Can you say that they're sensitive when they're marginalized? It's almost saying what black people we're sensitive for.
It's not about them being marginalized,
but they don't in our society still.
But they don't have to feel like everyone has to include them in everything.
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
No, but you made a good point though. But I think that people can say that you are being too sensitive, and sometimes people can say black people want to be included in everything,
right?
And we
pull the black cards for everything.
But here's the thing: if you feel marginalized or not included, you have to create your own stuff.
They do,
like black people do. We created our own lane where we wasn't included in stuff. We didn't see good representation of the black families on TV and movies, and we started creating our own stuff. And you know what I'm saying?
But I feel like they definitely have.
So then we can't cry about not being included in award shows or different things when we can create our own.
But the thing is, the goal is to try to be inclusive.
They got the right. They stole the rainbow.
But the goal is to try to be inclusive. We're still having segregated groups. How is that making progress in our society?
I mean, no matter what, it's always going to be like that.
Progress has been made, though.
No, I'm not saying progress is made, but we're still doing the own thing. Then
I think it's a little bit different though. Like when we compare it to the race thing, because like we know black people will be like specifically like, yeah, don't bring black people in here, or whatever. But then in stuff like this, it might be like, yeah, I'm gonna invite women to be in my video, and then you might not even think to, invite like a trans or something like that to be in the video, and it's not because you trying not to you purposely trying to make sure they're not in there, but it's just not in your mind because you like, I don't want like. You thinking women, you're not really thinking trans women also, because that's might not be a preference.
Like
and then they get offended by that as if they doing that on purpose.
But that's that's what
some people say.
Dark skin, natural hair. It's just it's whatever your preference is can be what you have around you,
right?
In your video or your show,
and that's just what it is. I mean, at the end of the day, people have to understand either. You're going to have people who's going to accept everything for what it is, and you're going to have people who don't accept it, and they really don't have to accept it.
So the goal of being inclusive, it probably will never happen, just because it's so multifaceted as to why that won't. Different beliefs, preferences.
Right.
It is a plus sign.
They got a bunch of
guys got to keep up with the community, man.
It's going to keep adding more too.
Right. Moving on, and give a big shout out, and then we'll get on to our roundtable mix question of the day, which is actually a very good discussion.
It is. It is.
Shout out to a young black king out here doing his thing. 6 years old. Jermaine Bell took his birthday money that he was saving up to go to Disney World and helped Hurricane Dorian evacuees. His money was being saved for his big Disney trip, of course. I think he had about like $500 saved up or so. And he took that, went and bought some hot dogs, and then passed out meals and then other supplies for the evacuees. So shout out to him. And then God was watching this young man and his big heart, because Disney heard about what he was doing, and they gave him and his family a free trip to the Magic Kingdom.
That's cool.
So shout out to him, man. I mean, 6 years old, understanding what's going on. He understands what he has and what they've lost. So it's just like, you know what? Let me go ahead and take this money and do something for them.
Well, I have two things real quick. Yo, Ken, I guess it was worth noting that your girl like fake retired.
You think that's fake?
Yeah, I'm gonna say she's just like on her Jay-Z. Maybe just gonna
go
out for a minute.
She might come back.
She was talking.
I told y'all this last
recorded,
week. This is a money grab.
Once a rapper, always a rapper.
Yeah, it's a money grab.
Nah, so that's.
Oh, so when AB does this foolishness, is smart.
Who's
AB?
Brown.
But when NM does this, then it's a problem.
Cause you always doing antics.
This is a money grab.
You can't even like take her seriously because there's always something with her. We don't know what's real and what's not. Granted, she's been in the game for a long time. Maybe she wants to take some time off to really have a family.
She wants a bigger percentage of the money. Same reason why Jay-Z did it 10 years in, a little bit over 10 years in. Same thing. It's renegotiation time. That's all. This is about money.
Well, the way that Baby be playing, y'all don't be dividing the monies right.
Baby
so she
don't
may
write,
not be getting that.
Baby don't write the check. Somebody writes the check and gives the check to Baby.
Okay. Well, whoever. Oh, so you saying Baby ain't doing that?
I'm just saying, Universal
Are
Republic
you on Young Money's roster?
No.
You did it, spokesperson.
No, I like Baby though. I like Baby.
Well, we heard he a little. I don't know. Well, he's not.
Birdman?
Why I say Baby? Birdman?
Well, I mean, you going...
Yeah.
Oh, she going old school. Okay.
Birdman.
She going old, right. He changed his name to Birdman.
Right. You know, he don't be dividing the monies right.
I know what you meant.
That their Young Money is its own thing now.
Yeah.
That's not
his thing?
No.
Okay.
It's Young Money, and then there's Cash Money.
Right. They got the same distributor,
but they're not. Right, but they race. Right, so doesn't he still have like major control over that?
No.
Okay.
Over Young Money? Zero.
No.
Okay.
Nothing at all.
So who's distributing it?
It's probably still Universal.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Nicki's Young Money with Weezy, as she should be, because Birdman was doing the Birdman stuff.
So when Weezy and Birdman was going through their whole deal, it was from like the old Cash Money, like he owed him money from that time.
It was from him owing him money for Cash Money as being an artist, owing him money as being the president of Cash Money, and then owing his label money as Young Money was under Cash Money. So when he won the settlement, when he won the case rather, you know what I'm saying, he got his money for all of that. So if it was any artist that was under Young Money that was supposed to get some more money from some Cash Money stuff, they got their stuff. Right. He got his bread as being the artist. He got his bread as being president of Cash Money, and then he also won complete rights over Young Money. It's split from Cash Money, so now it's just Young Money Entertainment.
Well, hopefully Nikki gets her coins and she's gonna come back and annoy us some more. So over her, she can stay
Hopefully
retired.
these other female rappers can step up and be in the news, aside from Nikki always being in the news.
They already did that, right?
Yo, you know, Nikki only
It's been
gets
a hot girl
herself in the
summer.
news to get attention.
True. Oh, definitely.
Like seriously.
Okay, you agree with that?
definitely.
Nikki
Okay.
could go on
Well, when
Twitter.
Kanye does it, y'all be like, "Oh, he's mental. He's it's the same thing. It's
it's a little
Tekashi
different.
6ix9ine. It's
little
50 Cent. It's just pay attention to me. That's all it is."
Tekashi the
That's
Feds.
annoying,
man.
though.
Right.
If your music
Yeah,
went
got
though, you
real
ain't gotta do all that.
Yeah, he ain't doing it for attention. That boy
Facts.
got
That man
Yeah,
really
he
got
does.
real
Tekashi
problems.
was doing it for attention. Look at where it got him.
Yeah.
Right. 50 still doing it because
Because 50 just 50. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
He did change the theme song. We do know that for Power. Shout out to
Facts.
50 for that.
Does this make it better though?
What?
Does this make you enjoy the show better?
I ain't gonna front, it does. Yeah. I ain't not gonna
I enjoyed
I think we're
episode
just
3
conditioned.
thoroughly.
And
Like I
Trey-
sat
Well,
there.
The episode 3 was really good though, despite
was.
the theme song.
It
was
was.
a really good. Shout out to 50 for directing that too.
Facts.
He did a great
was a
job.
great episode.
It was a
was.
great episode.
And
It was
small sprinkle of that
definitely
episode
it
being
was
so
definitely hilarious to see Lorenz Tate though in the sex scene like that.
Give my man Lorenz Tate a
You
look.
seen him do sex
Give him
scenes
2 more
before.
episodes.
Yeah, but it's just like because when you look at Lorenz, like granted he still looks young, but you get like in the face he's starting to look old. Like it's just like
Hey,
But he don't have no facial hair.
aging. He don't.
He don't. Hey, listen.
Which looks
he
crazy.
Under his eyes.
He looks
Like,
great.
No,
Yeah, but he is
For all
getting
these
old.
years.
Give
He
my man
looks good.
Lorenz Tate 2 more episodes. He gonna be old dog.
Oh hell yeah.
Now, that would be hard.
Yeah.
Definitely, man.
Punch my man's in the
But
face
yeah,
with
nah, I
his wife.
definitely
Yeah.
enjoyed
I
this.
did.
I enjoyed this episode. So as long as
And-
they keep the song, we good.
Finally, Facebook has a dating profile, guys. It's already wait, let me get this number really quick. How many people actually joined?
You join?
I
She
didn't
joined.
join. No, I didn't
That's
join.
all you want there.
You was
Talking about
I was not. So that
Saw
must
you
mean
in
you
there.
on there because I ain't joined yet. I pulled it up. Because it has a state it had like 33,000 people just in Baltimore alone. I guess it's kind of getting people to join, and there's already a lot of people that's joined on there. So if you're looking for
33,000
love-
from Baltimore?
Yeah, that's what I seen the number.
Damn,
Damn,
nothing.
y'all having trouble dating like that?
That
already?
ain't nothing. We need more.
You act like you don't live here.
Listen, I'm just a visitor. I'm not from here.
You know
I'm
what?
just a visitor. I'm just a tourist. All right.
But yeah, I brought that up to say if people are looking for love, hey, y'all, they looking on Instagram and Twitter, they can go on Facebook now.
Hey,
You can do it on all of them.
Let me find out
Yes.
you low key on there.
Look, it's on everybody's dating. Everybody's profile has a little dating thing, and you can sign up.
Okay.
Don't discourage that. People
But
finding
listen,
love
I'm
on
not- man,
social
listen,
media. Come on,
do
people
it.
are
Hey,
hitting DMs
everybody-
all the time.
Hey, no matter what site it is, Facebook, ChristianMinglesMeet.com, Black Lives Matter, it don't matter.
How many? Be real. Right?
I know, right? Black people.
That was one big ass
Dumb. How many people in the last couple years have y'all met? I mean, through, like outside, or has it been more people through social media?
I don't know. No, I don't keep track.
No, it's not about keeping track, but you gotta know how you met people in the last maybe 5 years. Have you met
Don't
people
remember.
more through social media
Nobody
or
remembers
through
that.
like? Huh?
Nobody remembers that.
I just think that now with social media being so accessible,
'Cause
it's so much
it
easier
all
for
just
people to connect.
runs
Almost
together.
50-50. Yeah, I'm about to say I meet some
Yeah.
people.
And you
out
see
and
him
then
on. You see,
add
I
them on
see
the
him
gram
online
or
before.
seen some
just
people
all
on the gram.
blurs
and-
together.
Yeah, I've seen some people that they'll literally call me by my Instagram name, but I gotta give them the look like you don't get too comfortable calling me. We
That's
don't know
funny.
each other like that.
They probably feel like they know you a little
Do they
bit.
say the at sign, the at symbol?
Nah, cause I'm not going front. Cause if I see one of my followers, cause they they always post their kids, they in the second grade. I be like, damn, I can't believe Lil Tyshawn in the second grade. He gonna be like, fam, I don't even know you. I mean, I know, but
We done watch your
Exactly.
man.
We done watch
You
your
might
son
be
grow
really
up on the
connected
gram.
to social media, and
That's
you
you
meet a lot
talking to
of
the
people.
kid?
huh?
That's you talking to the
Nah,
kid?
the pops and everything. Like, all right.
Especially if your DMs are lit, you're probably meeting a lot of people through social media. Just saying.
So F and Classy's DMs be lit.
I'm sure.
Nah, let me quit, man. Moving on, we got our round table mix
so
question of
moving
the
on.
day.
All right, guys. So this is actually, y'all know this is a love of mine, this topic, mental health. We want to talk about tonight, why is there a stigma associated or attached to mental health within the African American community? You guys know that we really, we don't really, not saying we don't value mental health, but we don't we don't I don't know if that's say take it seriously, we just don't really acknowledge it in our community. And it's so many factors why, and it's so vital that we do. You all of us here probably know someone who may be struggling with mental health issues and for whatever reason haven't sought out help. So I just want to bring more awareness to that and to let it know that first it's okay. But before I get into all of that about like overcoming those barriers and challenges, I just want to share what my Mixxers had to say about why there's a stigma attached to it. So one person said, many of us often live life in survival mode. We take on the characteristics whether real or perceived as being strong. Anything else viewed otherwise is frowned upon. This person said, because we are taught to keep things to ourselves, don't tell anybody your business or your family's business. Times have changed and professional assistance is needed in most cases, but many still view it as unnecessary. So this other person said, because we were taught mental illness is not an illness, which is, yeah, that's true. This person said, unfortunately, people look at mental health as weakness or deficit. Too many people do not have the appropriate education on mental health, so they really don't understand. There is a huge mistrust as well as when it's come to seeking help from medical professionals in general, but especially if they do not like us. This person said, because we tend to sweep things under the rug and act as though things do not exist. We were conditioned to not heal, not talk about things. We have always been in a position to feel stuck in certain aspects. People refuse to seek help because of judgment. What mental illness is more of suppressed emotions that no one's taught how to heal from. Mentally, that's draining. It's derived from fear and weakness. Our people have to seek true love and happiness, and a lot of problems form from our roots. So this person said, I think the stigma is worldwide, which is true, it is, but it's a little bit more stigmatized in the African American community. So I feel like our counterparts, and I hate just to really say a white or black thing, but we all know that more white people, which is statistically proven, seek out mental health than we do. And obviously that's for reasons I'm about to touch on. But he said, there are stories of prominent white families that locked away family members just because they don't want anyone to know their family member has a mental illness. The more religious a community is, the more they try to stigmatize mental illness. The religious community tends to define mental illness as a demon possession. Our people, in my opinion, are very religious. This person said, because black folks have Jesus. Okay. This person said,
one of my Mixxers said that too.
Yeah. Because it make us look weak. I was talking to someone who was struggling, and I asked them if they would try meds to help them cope, and their response was, people would think I am crazy. It's like the number one thing. That right there is why many people struggle, the fear of people's perceptions. And our good friend Brandon, shout out to Brandon, he said yes. Blacks have, and he used the word blacks. Blacks have a high self-esteem as well. And one more from your Mixxer who had a very good response. Shout out to your Mixxer for that one. That was a dope response. She said, struggle and trauma is normalized in the black community, and because a lot of people aren't educated on how to identify poor mental health / mental health issues. You cannot treat where you don't see an issue. We need more education on mental health in the black community and to start supporting one another emotionally and mentally when it comes to people going to therapy. Teach it and encourage it. So shout out to our Mixxers who had
great
that
response.
Great response.
Great responses.
Yeah.
They were.
So before I actually really get into like the statistics, guys, for what y'all know, why do you think there is such a stigma about mental health in our community?
I think for the most part, like your Mixxers really covered it for real. I think it's just the whole, people either think they're crazy, or you have those who are really religious and they, just tell you to, just trust in God. God has you no matter what. I mean, also too, it's just it's that comfortability. You may feel as though, like, will someone look at you differently because you're going to, get help for what's going on with you. It's tough. It's really tough because, I mean, you always want to have the answers to everything, because sometimes people try to go to those who they might look at as a friend but then you might have that one fallout, and they use what you felt comfortable enough to share with them and throw it out there. You know, y'all could just have one little argument, and then they throw everything that you confide to them in right in your face. And then it's just like, damn, you know, I thought I could trust you with that. So it now puts you back in the closed shell to where, okay, I don't really feel as comfortable now to come out and speak on how I feel and what's really going on with me mentally.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think that our community does put a negative stigma on mental health issues.
Yeah.
And basically on some, you like he was just saying, you know, you'll be looked at as like abnormal or something like that if you do have like some type of mental health issue, not really knowing how normal they actually are. They would think, you know what I'm saying, and also not even really knowing the triggers to a lot of this stuff, which are things that happen mostly to our communities. You know what I'm saying? We need the help probably more than any other community in this country. And but also too, it's so much to unpack with that, because I think some of that is on purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that a lot of, like how you said, a lot of other communities, they make it a thing where they get help and stuff. Those same communities or other communities and people in this country, period, they don't even try to look at it as a thing for us to get help. Like we noticed it like in the schools, the counselors and stuff in schools, whatever. Even like when people see them, if you see somebody going to the counseling school, something wrong with them, you're gonna assume like, oh, you're gonna start treating them different. Like it happens. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't really know how to handle it. And then I like how one of the responses said it was like a survival tactic too, because it's almost like, because we do go through so much stuff that are triggers to these mental health issues, we also don't really have the time to deal with them, because we still being constantly.
We've been depressed for so long.
Because it's a constant battle
to just kind of get through it.
I think a prime example would be when someone experienced a death in the family. Because they feel like everyone relies on them so much, they haven't really had the time to cope with what just took place, because they're trying to keep everyone else together. And it's just like, it could be a year or 2 years from now to where you actually are able to sit down and it really settles in like, wow, I've been holding all this in and I've been wondering why I've been so depressed, and it's because I haven't really had the time to focus on me.
But that's one of my talking points, because a lot of us don't even know what depression is. We often say like we have the blues or like we're sad, and there's a big difference between being sad and being depressed, like being clinically depressed. And that's one of the things that we just don't know how to identify. We've never been taught to really tap into our emotions and say, well, and not even just emotions, because it's also biological as well, you know, which is why we prescribe medications to treat those conditions as well. So it's like we haven't had enough knowledge to even know exactly what mental health, what it really is, you know. So that's one of the reasons why we which I want to touch a little bit more on if you guys are finished.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. Go right ahead.
All right, so of course the number one, well first is these points. According to the Health and Human Service Office of Minority Health, African Americans are 20% more likely to experience serious mental health problems than the general population. That's already number one. So, of course, common things that we experience in our community: major depression, which I feel like most of us, not even just African Americans, just in general, depression, ADHD, even though they're arguing that ADHD isn't a real disorder, but that's a whole nother story. Suicide.
I think that is.
Huh?
I think that is.
A real, like, I think so too. Especially some of these kids. But suicide among young African American men. Interesting. And PTSD, so which is post-traumatic stress disorder. So those are like the top 4 that really affects our community. And of course, we're more likely to experience these certain factors because we are exposed to more violence and of homelessness. So they said people experiencing homelessness. All right, great. Homelessness.
There you go, Beyonce.
All right. All right, greater risk of development of mental health condition. And of course, we make up 40% of that homeless population. And of course, you guys know exposure to violence that increases the risk of developing a mental health condition such as depression, anxiety, and PTSD. So African American children are much more likely to be exposed to violence than any other children. Typically, that's where not saying that's where it all starts, but that's where the trauma starts right there.
Would bullying be thrown into
That
violence? Because I'm surprised that's not up there.
Yeah, but when you think of bullying, you kind of think about it not specific to just African American community. A lot of white kids get bullied too, and so that could be across the board.
But I think like even within the black community itself, like
no, we're not saying it's not a factor, but they're just saying one of the factors that are increased as far as like homelessness, and we're much more exposed to violence than our like white counterparts.
True.
So but they're not. So that's where we're trauma. Think about living in Baltimore City. Growing up, just imagine what these kids are facing on a day-to-day basis. Drug use alone, or God, I hear some of these stories like prostitution. They have like men in and out. These kids are seeing this from an early age, and they don't know how to cope with it because their parents don't know how to cope with it. It's very traumatizing. People think trauma just comes in the form of like sexual abuse or physical abuse.
Not at all.
It comes in many forms, and these kids are going through trauma every single day. So it's like it's generational. Like their parents didn't know how to deal with it, and so forth. So so pretty much we're just saying in the African American community, many people misunderstand, like I said, what a mental health condition is, and we don't like to talk about the topic. So this lack of knowledge leads many to believe that mental health conditions is a personal weakness or some sort of punishment. Many African Americans also have trouble recognizing the signs and symptoms of mental health, leading to underestimate the effects and impact of mental health conditions. So that's one. Of course, my mixer said it. We all know faith, religion. We turn to religion for everything. You're going through something. What do they say?
Pray
about it.
Okay.
And you guys, for all of my folks who are religious, I'm definitely not downplaying the significance of religion, but we all know you just can't pray about it.
Right.
Okay, you guys, it's. Let me just read. Okay. In African American community, families, communities, and spiritual beliefs tend to be a great source of strength and support. So again, that's important. But we need to understand that there therapy and therapeutic treatments is also necessary. If you put that together with religion, we're not taking that away. That can be extremely beneficial to the person who's going through who has that mental health condition. So not just pray about it. You can pray about it and go ahead and see someone. Take medications if needed and so forth. So you just want to like make a combination. So that's number 2. A big thing too that we didn't talk about, my mixins didn't talk about, is we don't have access, which is the importance of voting, right? People say, well, voting really doesn't matter. Well, it actually does, right? Because social economic factors play a huge role. Guys can tell y'all, a lot of us don't have insurance.
Right.
Yeah.
Seeking out a psychiatrist, even an eval alone, is like $120 just alone if you're not even having insurance. It's so expensive. You don't have the access or means, you can't get the help. Right?
That's ridiculous.
So they said, and they said, this is even just in 2012, I'm sure these numbers have changed, but 19% in the African American community have no form of health insurance. So, of course, they had the Affordable Care Act that made it more easier for people to get it, but there are many people that don't. So if you don't have access, you're not going to get it.
They're trying to take that away, too.
That's what we're saying. You guys, voting is very important. People saying it doesn't matter. Y'all better be in the polls come 2020.
Yeah, right.
It's really important because people don't even think how much it affects. Because people think like, well, it doesn't affect me, so...
Meanwhile,
it affects
really
the whole
does.
community because it really does. Yeah, right?
That's why I said it's a lot to unpack, because I know that the powers that be are working to make sure we don't have access to that stuff too. So
so I mean, that's very important, of just making sure that you go out there and vote. And also cultural competency, which is like a final point that I want to touch on. If you look around, but going back to like in the schools, right? More than likely, what race was that counselor? And gender or sex, Kay. We're going to use sex, not gender. What sex, y'all want to answer? What would y'all think that counselor would be, race and sex?
What, back in...
Just think about it. Typically, if you think of that school counselor, what race and sex would that counselor be?
I mean, when I was in high school, some of the counselors that we had, black male.
That's not typical.
Nah, mine. They was black women.
Mine was always black women.
Black
You went to
women.
all black schools, right? So
Yeah,
typically, so
black
you have to
women.
get a black school, right?
Typically
I
all
thought
black
we was talking
women.
about
But typically, well, okay, we're not just take ourselves outside of our black schools. Typically, it's probably going to be a white woman.
But yeah.
So we're underrepresented in
Depends on where you go to
the
school.
Right.
yeah, depending on what school. But I think how many black schools in comparison to our white schools, right? So we're underrepresented in this field. It's dominated by white women. So they may not have the cultural competencies to deal with, someone who came from the hood. So this person was coming in and saying, okay, I'm a black young male. I am about to sit with a white, maybe older woman. What do her and I have in common? What can she talk about? Can she really relate and understand what I'm going through?
Right.
She may have biases, because a lot of cultural biases, and it may be unconscious or conscious, which would they teach us as counselors to, we have to recognize that. Be coming in and we seeing this young African American male, and we like, oh, well, he's probably not gonna have a chance at life. Just dealing with, and he's probably looking at it like, well, damn.
Right.
I've had some of my own clients who said they've actually had counselors who said that. So you're not going to go out and seek help when you already have the negative connotation about mental health. Then when you do give it a chance, and then you hear that, oh, you already done. So that's another reason why African Americans don't go out and seek, because it's just not enough of us in the field.
Yeah.
So if you do decide.
It's too many layers to this.
It's so many layers to it,
really
right?
is.
And this is just
It's
a couple
wild.
of points that I wanted to make. So I said, if you do decide to see someone, and more than likely you may not find a African American therapist, right? You may want to ask questions like, have you treated someone who was African American? Have you received training? We all have received training in cultural competencies, like in general, because this is across the board, not just in our community, but with other minorities as well, right? Hispanics, Asians, they all have their own cultural factors that we need to consider when we're meeting with them.
But I think it's also good too, like even if you're just checking in on family members or even your friends, those that you consider close friends, just ask how they're doing mentally, like, hey, how's everything going on with you?
Which is going to be my next point about how you want to increase awareness, and how do we increase awareness in our community?
I think, well, first of all, I feel like our generation is at least doing a better job at that than previous generations.
Yeah, very true.
Because like how you just said, like about like just asking your friends and family members how they doing mentally, whatever. Like I know I have like friends like literally where we do like mental health checks like every week. Like how everybody doing? Y'all good? Y'all stressing? You depressed? Whatever. And we make sure that we at least are an avenue where if they need to vent about something like that, we make sure that we like send recommendations for a therapist in their area. We do stuff like that more so than like previous generations. I'm sure they didn't do that. We already know that. And it's, I don't know if the numbers are now, but I know people, like a lot more people personally that are interested in those fields, that are actively like in those fields or trying to be in those fields more than before. So I feel like just at the very least, and in a way, thanks to social media too.
I was just about to bring that up.
Yeah,
mass
it's become a
media.
thing.
You guys
Mass
gotta
media.
educate, talk about it, say it's okay. Like you said, let your friends know. Hey, like talk. Like one person I gotta admire, and I think since he's been going to therapy, he's really been such an advocate. He's been so outspoken
See
and
the
vocal.
God.
See the God. Charlamagne
See
has
the
been.
God.
If you follow him, I follow him on Facebook. He talks about therapy and mental health all the time. He has such a large following. So if he's putting it out there and they're like, hey, it's okay, go to therapy, his followers can see that. I mean, I ain't really feeling him right now, but shout out to Jay-Z. He's another one who talked about, going to therapy. And
They even talked about it on LeBron's show on HBO, The Shop. NBA basketball player Kevin Love, he shared how he was actually going through depression, and I mean,
it was affecting his game.
He actually literally like walked off in the middle of the game, just left. So I mean, a lot of people are really bringing a lot of awareness to it.
Absolutely. Taraji P. Henson did. I think Gabrielle Union as well, with so many other people who Common, Common, shout out to Common, where he ended up working out with Angela right now because he went to therapy. So It's so important, guys, to never be afraid to like talk about it, check in on your friends. Mental health is a real thing. Just like we go in to check on physical symptoms, mental health is no different. If you're feeling depressed, you're not going to want to eat. You're not going to get out of bed. You're not going to take care of those physical conditions.
I think somebody needs to check in on Kevin McCall, like, and not even to be funny, but really looking at it, because I mean, of course, you know, we always try to figure out the avenues of what's really going on with someone, why they're acting a certain way. And when you really look at Kevin McCall, like, he really hasn't been right. I mean, of course, going back to his back and forths with Chris Brown, and then his breakup with his girl, what was that, Eva? That's his baby's mom, right? Eva.
Pick for the model.
Yeah, the model joint. Yeah. His breakup with her and her, you know, getting married to another man and having a child. So it's just, I mean, it's a lot.
I'm
And it's
surprised you didn't mention Bow Wow, because realistically, guys, like, he does a lot of, like, as we look at clown stuff, but people have to understand this man's probably really going through something, maybe mentally, and we, instead of us clowning him, nobody ever really talks about, like, what he really going through. Like, maybe he really does need help.
I think he does. I think Bow Wow, me looking at it, I feel like Bow Wow's the type, because he's the type of person who loves to brag about everything and swears up and down he was a part of death row, whatever. But I really,
See, there you go, Ken, laughing.
I really think Bow Wow has a problem with being alone.
He probably does.
Because
he probably has some
like,
codependency.
I don't even think
codependent.
Because he feels like he can have any woman in the world. He tends to have a different woman every single time instead of really taking the time to
that's the
focus
thing.
on
We're
himself.
probably looking at it from a surface level. We don't know the relationship with his mom. That can be from a mother to son type of relationship. Again, trauma that we're talking about. That
I thought he had a good relationship.
No, he has a good. She was his manager.
I mean, because your manager doesn't mean that you had a good relationship.
That's not his issue.
I don't say we don't know.
His issue is more. All the interactions, I've had several interactions with him. All is more so along the lines of what he's saying, because it's like
it's deeper than that.
It's like when you look at the child stars, and then when they peak, a lot of them have those same type of issues because. Right, and his is mainly an entitlement and a spoiled.
I'm not saying that
adult.
That's not a factor. I just think his behaviors are so erratic that I think it's beyond it's just too superficial for me to believe that.
I mean,
that's just all that it is.
Sometimes it's really simple.
No, I'm not saying nay, but in many cases,
like with kids, I think sometimes we create like just these acronyms, and this kid lacks discipline. I'm saying like a specific kid that's wilding out. And then like you put on your hat and you start saying, okay, is this, is that. But this kid was raised and then he's acting up. I'm just saying that y'all will diagnose it, give him medication, and he just needs authority.
Now you're kind of not saying those things are not. Maybe this kid just needs discipline.
But when that kid becomes an adult, those issues are just compounded.
Well, technically, to be realistic, we're actually not going to diagnose the child until he's 6. Because anything earlier than that is too early to actually diagnose.
But you know what I'm talking about.
No, but I'm saying, that's a lot of our folks in our community downplay
this, and they make up some new stuff that.
Oh, he's gonna grow out of it. This is just that, and it may not be that. And I think we
it is something. It's structure. That's why all these kids is out in the street.
It's not saying it's not just
structure, problems with authority. The entitlement issues, these are all simple fixes, but it got to happen early.
But my point to you is, don't overlook the bigger picture as well, because this is how people are being misdiagnosed, by saying some of the simple, superficial, surface things that you just said. And we do that in our community today, which is why it's so widespread.
But we can also go the other way and over complicate things, and you give them excuses. I need medicine. I need this. I have this issue. No, you have an issue with sitting down and doing your work as a child, and then it becomes
or adult, you have to do if you're doing like an eval on someone, you have to get so much history, like family history, social issues. history, biological stuff. You have to really look at it from a big picture, not just like from this or this or this. You got to get everything. So people are not misdiagnosed on either side. I'm not saying it can't be simple, but I also think we simplify it too much, which is why we're either misdiagnosed or underdiagnosed. We're not diagnosed at all.
We create a lot of victims, and you give them excuses, and whatever your family history is, you can change the path, or you can go down the path, or it's simple. You either go down this way or go this way. You go straight. It's like real simple.
Mental health's not that simple.
That's
why we're touching on that now, because people in our community think that way.
So everybody needs medicine. Everybody needs a doctor. Everybody's a victim.
No, we're not saying everybody needs medicine or everybody needs a doctor. But what I am saying is bringing more awareness that it's okay. That if those factors, let's just say you rule out that, then what? Then maybe it is something deeper going on. And it's okay to go out and seek a therapist or a psychiatrist or to seek medication. If you tried other avenues and did not work and you're still feeling like this, go seek help if you have the means to do it. That's the point of what I'm saying.
Yeah, it can be good for your mental. You know,
it can be great for your mental.
It could be. I'm pretty sure it could be extremely overwhelming when you're trying to really do X, Y, and Z to help yourself.
It bothers me. I'm sorry to cut you off. When people feel like you choose to be mentally ill, and people say like, "Oh, you just get over it," or "You choosing to be depressed," or and it's so ignorant to me. Like, you guys really got to do better and read up on what mental health is. And it's not just I'm choosing to be depressed. Nobody chooses that type of life. It's not a choice. It could be social. It could be something. Some people just be like, I'm depressed and I really don't know why. And for those people, it might be something biological going on. So that's when they may need to see. But then also too,
it's not that feasible. It's quite expensive.
It is quite expensive. I can definitely tell y'all it is quite expensive to see a therapist.
That could also factor into why
they don't do it.
Yeah, I just don't have the money.
Some people don't even see the dentist or regular doctor, on a annual basis. A lot of stuff that is, if you do have insurance, is covered by your annual,
checkup.
A lot of it is going out to pay for therapy.
Yeah.
People are not doing that. So,
I think when it comes to the dentist, though, at this point, you can't just be sitting there wondering or being okay that your breath stink. Go seek go to the dentist.
So now it's just like how you so quick to be like, "Oh, your breath stink."
Nah, because
go seek. Go to the dentist.
Go to the dentist.
It could be something simple. Maybe they ate something. It may not be that they have halitosis. It may be that they have halitosis or a bad or a rotten tooth. But I'm saying,
I think my ex had halitosis in high school.
Yeah. Ex what? Girlfriend?
Yeah, my ex-girlfriend. I used to think she had halitosis.
She could have.
I felt like she did. I stopped kissing her.
But then don't laugh about that though. See,
too late. He laughed.
How's you so ignorant? There's some people really struggling with that though.
But at the time it was just, it always smelled bad. I'm like, I can't do this no more.
So what did you do about it? Instead of you laughing and stop kissing her, did you ever encourage her? Like, hey, did you ever,
I'm like,
checked out?
She tried to cut on me like, oh, your breath stinks. She thought I was trying to be funny, but I was just like, no, it's really bad.
So you gonna tell her it's really bad, and then what?
What am I supposed to do?
How old were you at this time?
In high school?
Yeah.
I was 13, 14.
So you knew what halitosis was at that time? 13 in high school. So you just gonna tell her breath stink and that's it? You ain't encourage her to go do something about it. You a horrible boyfriend, yo.
I'm not your parent. What am I going? I'm pretty sure our parents know our breath stink. Anyway, this isn't about that.
This is not about the point. No, but I'm glad you brought that up though, because how we make it it's so prevalent for us to make sure if you're having pain, you go to the doctor, or if your teeth ain't right, to go to the dentist. Mental health is no different, and I think if I'm really saying what's more important, I feel like your mental health is, like I said, if you're not right mentally, you're not going to take care of your teeth. There are people who are depressed, like I said, who don't get up, who don't shower, who don't brush their teeth. And it'd be like days. I've had work with clients who come in here with hair greasy, smelling not right, and I understand the underlying of it. Like, oh, it's not that you're just being lazy. you're clinically depressed. Where you don't feel like it. Your body is not saying, I want to get up and do anything today. I literally just want to lay in bed. I have no motivation.
But that doesn't mean you have to make your coworkers suffer along with it. I'm just saying. Not to be rude, but
Kids 6 don't think like that.
But stay home.
They not. Well, some of them do. A lot of them do. They're not getting up to go to work. If it's some who do is trying to get it through the day.
Like I'm sorry
We're
that you're
trying
going
to be
through this,
culturally,
but I
not
don't.
culturally, but just sensitive to the topic at hand.
No,
Have you dealt with depression?
Yeah, I have.
Maybe not even to that degree.
Well,
but
not to that degree to where I'm not
like you're not major depressed. Like it's being major depressive disorder. Like that may not have been you, but there are some people who do suffer with that on a day-to-day basis. That's really difficult. I would never imagine what that's like to be majorly depressed. You know, we laugh about it, but in reality, these people are really struggling, and it leads to like suicidal ideation. Maybe some people say that we all have thought about, I don't want to be here, or whatever the case may be. But people deal with that stuff on a day-to-day basis. And people commit suicide every single day. Yeah. So next time we think about laughing about it, we really just want to take the time to not be so ignorant.
You know what's so crazy? Because I used to work with kids, and I remember one time it was a summer camp, and this girl, she was upstairs by herself, unattended, and she was just sitting on the ledge.
Yeah.
So I'm about to go to the bathroom, but I had to stop. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? And she was just sitting there sad. And she was just like, if I leave, nobody will miss me. No one loves me. Da, da, da. And I'm just talking to her, and I'm just like, yo, you can't feel that way, because if you were to jump, like, I would feel some type of way. You will be missed. So I'm talking to her, and then, the camp counselor herself, she comes up. So I'm explaining to her. Her ignorant ass, she's just laughing it off like, oh, she don't know what she's talking about. She's fine. But I'm looking at her like, clearly she's not. I just literally informed you.
Oh, so you could be sensitive, but you could be sensitive to your ex-girlfriend, her breath stink.
It's a complete. My ex-girl didn't want to commit suicide because her breath.
I'm not saying that, but did you know she was trying? You said she was sitting on a ledge. Did you know she was trying to commit suicide?
Yes, because she literally said it.
Oh,
I just said that she was like. Come on,
that part.
Like, she pays attention to what she wants to pay attention to.
Fact.
I'm like, wait, did you know she was gonna commit suicide? But nonetheless, you helped her out.
Of course, I mean, you have to tend to something like that, like especially a little kid. Like this is a little kid, 11, 12 years old, talking about.
That'd be the ones too, and then people be like, at 9, how are you committing suicide? In that case, bullying does come into play. So some of the stuff is, social as well. So next time y'all see y'all buddies, let them know, man, it's okay. Oh wait, I want to read one more thing for us.
I gotta mention one other thing too. We gotta
mention one thing.
It's a lot of masochists out there too. People that kind of like get delight in acting like depressed and stuff because they want to get treated a certain way.
That is true too, and I don't like those people either.
But and sometimes it's hard to identify those people from the people that actually have the issues. And for the people that actually do have the issues, that do need the help, you might think that they're doing what the other person is actually doing, just doing it for the attention.
People who actually really have mental health illness, you would have seen these behaviors for a while now.
Sometimes like you don't get a while though.
No, just to say, sometimes for those people, for those people you may not know, but for say like a close friend or somebody you know for a long period of time, you'll know. Like for schizophrenia, for example, those they start experiencing psychosis in their early 20s. So these people who have experienced for a significant period, not just somebody out the blue. Like no, this is someone who it's like intermittent, on off, on off, on and off. But again, that's where you go seek people like me to diagnose them.
Facts.
But I did want to share this though. The National Alliance of Mental Health Sharing Hope program. Sharing Hope is an hour-long program to increase mental health awareness in African American communities by sharing the presenters' journeys to recovery and exploring signs and symptoms of mental health conditions. So this program also highlights how and where to find help. So again, it's the National Alliance on Mental Health Sharing Hope program. I just wanted to touch on that. So many other resources, but that one's specific to us. Oh yeah, which is why I wanted to
use that information, people. Please.
Definitely, that was very very informative. I like that.
Thank you.
That was very informative.
Please use that information.
Y'all know my love is mental health, man. I can talk about it all day.
Definitely, man. We appreciate you bringing that as a topic of discussion because we really need to be very aware.
Fun fact, I think we shared this fact on our 100th episode. this was like my interview, right? I was supposed to interview me as a therapist, talk about mental health. When we finally got it. All right.
Way to get in the mix.
Way to get in the mix, guys. So
appreciate everyone being in the mix for that. Moving on to whose man's is this?
Whose man's is this?
Quick sec.
Oh yes. All right. Can I just please say this one? Come on, Kendall. Let's go. This one is a good one. So today I was having lunch with my coworkers, and she was telling me to one of our other coworkers, right? Well, let me backtrack. We got a bonus on our checks last week. $500 bonus, right? Okay. It's pretty good. It's not Christmas either. So she was saying how one of our other coworkers said, "Hey, did you get a bonus on your check?" And she was like, "Yeah, I got a bonus. I think we kind of all got bonuses, right?" He was like, "Well, I don't think I deserve this, so I'm gonna give it back." But wait, there's more. You would think he'd be like, all right, maybe he's just joking, right? No, he really called the bank to return the check.
Oh, nah.
$500, y'all. Again, this is not Christmas time. This is just because I just want to thank y'all for being a great staff. Here's $500 on your extra check. And you want to say you don't think you deserved it? And maybe he didn't deserve it, but damn it, give it to one of us.
No, I understand.
Please, whose man's is this?
Facts.
No. This might be premature.
We gonna get you a whose man's is this in a second.
Nah. Bless that man's with a whose man's is this.
He might not deserve it.
What you mean?
Hey, whose man's is this?
Thank you.
I don't know if I could.
He deserves this. Hell
Why do you think so? Okay.
Doesn't matter. You got the check. Just take it.
Right.
I'll tell you why. Okay. He gave back the check of $500. He
did.
said he didn't deserve it.
Yep.
You know why? Because he probably took $1,000 that y'all don't know about.
No. He ain't that person. No. Bless him again. Whose man's is this? Now you actually called the bank to take the check back. Yeah. You could have gave it to one of us. I would have took it. Bless him again.
Come on, man.
Oh yeah, he needs a who's.
Enjoy the money. It's free money.
Is he okay?
Is he all right?
We just talked about
He's a therapist.
He needs help.
No, he ain't new. No, he been here for a little while. No.
Have you been noticing this behavior for a while?
I don't know, but
y'all need to investigate.
I actually think he's a great therapist too. I just think maybe he's really one of those honorable people, but honorable or not, it was one of those just like, I'm giving you $500. Yo, my employer probably knew half of us probably really didn't deserve it. He even mentioned one of the people who didn't, but just gave it to her, right? Listen, it's just really showing appreciation. And you said you ain't deserving, and you gave it back, man.
Now we had to. I just wanted you to bring up that whose man's is this for us.
I don't know who's man's.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Your man's as well. Talk to him tomorrow.
Get your life together, bro.
Or
give me that $500.
When I heard it.
But listen, man, we definitely appreciate our mixiners tuning in tonight, rocking with us on Radio on Fire. Always appreciate y'all support getting in the mix each and every Tuesday, 7 to 8:30 p.m. Again, we also appreciate the mixiners too, hitting us up with some of the stuff that we wanted to discuss as well.
Yes.
Definitely appreciate that, man. Like, we really appreciate it for sure. So we're going to keep taking y'all feedback. Anything else that y'all want us to touch on, please feel free to chime in with us anytime. Like, we love it. Follow us on Instagram at InTheMixRadio1. Follow us on Twitter at InTheMixRadio1. Until next week.
Wait. Pause. I got 12 days till my birthday.
Anyway, until next week. Same time, same place. It's your big dog Kid 6. Chi-Town's finest Carlton, your dig, and your girl, hype ass Leah. So effing classy. We out of here.
Holla at me.
Same city.
I think you about to say something important.